If the truth makes you uncomfortable, you're free to leave. This video isn't designed to protect anyone's feelings. It's designed to explain reality as clearly as possible. Now that that's out of the way, let's begin. Across the world, something historic is happening. Birth rates are collapsing. In countries like Japan, South Korea, and much of Europe, women are choosing not to have children at record levels. Demographers estimate that by 2030, nearly half of women in some developed societies will remain childless. Just 2 generations ago, that idea would have sounded impossible. So the real question isn't whether this is happening, it's why. Over 40% of young women today say they either don't want children or are unsure if they ever will. This video is not here to shame women. It's not here to attack men either. It's here to explain why, for many modern women, the idea of having children doesn't feel exciting or hopeful. It feels heavy, risky, and overwhelming. And once you understand the full picture, it stops looking like fear and starts looking like logic. 1. The silent fear of becoming a married single mother. Let's start with the truth most people avoid saying out loud. Many women aren't afraid of children. They're afraid of being alone while raising them. Ask women privately and you'll hear the same sentence again and again. I don't mind having kids, I just don't want to do it alone. And when they say alone, they don't mean being physically single. They mean being emotionally abandoned while technically married. They've watched their mothers carry everything. They've watched friends describe husbands who help sometimes, babysit occasionally, or mentally disappear when things get hard. They've seen women cook, clean, plan, manage school schedules, doctor appointments, emotional meltdowns, birthdays, homework, and household logistics, while still being expected to stay calm, grateful, and smiling. So yes, many women fear becoming married single mothers. A ring on their finger, a man in the house, but no real partnership. And here's the uncomfortable part. Fatherhood is not just provision. Provision matters, but provision alone does not raise children. Fatherhood is presence, it's emotional safety, it's discipline with care, it's showing up when it's inconvenient, it's sharing the invisible labor, the mental load, the patience, the sacrifices. A father is not an ATM with legs. A father is a pillar. Women know this, and they also know that choosing the wrong partner doesn't just end the relationship, it locks them into decades of exhaustion. So instead of gambling, many choose delay, or silence, or opting out completely. That isn't selfishness, it's pattern recognition. 2. Modern motherhood looks like burnout, not fulfillment. Let's be honest about what women see when they look at motherhood today. It doesn't look peaceful, it looks like chronic fatigue. Scroll through social media and you'll see mothers crying in cars, joking about losing themselves, laughing about being overstimulated and calling it relatable content. Humor helps people cope, but it also sends a message. This is your future. No sleep, no privacy, no time, no identity outside of being needed. And now add modern expectations on top of that. Be a great mother. Be emotionally available. Be financially independent. Be attractive, be calm, be grateful, and don't complain. That's not a role, that's a psychological endurance test. So when women hesitate, it's not because they're weak, it's because the cost-benefit math no longer lies. In the past, motherhood often came with extended families, community support, slower lives, and shared responsibility. Today, it often comes with isolation, pressure, and judgment, and women feel that deeply. 3. The fear of losing identity. Here's another uncomfortable truth. Modern women spend years building themselves, education, careers, independence, confidence, and a voice. Then they're subtly told that motherhood shouldn't just be part of life, but the center of it. Many women don't fear children. They fear disappearing. They fear becoming invisible. They fear being reduced to someone else's needs while their own dreams get postponed indefinitely. And yes, good mothers can still have full lives, but the reality women often observe tells a different story. They see women whose passions slowly shrink, whose ambitions get labeled unrealistic, whose needs get placed last. So their hesitation isn't anti-family, it's self-preservation. 4. Relationships feel unstable, not safe. Now, let's talk about dating. Modern dating feels chaotic. Situationships, emotional unavailability, ghosting, mixed signals, temporary commitment. Now, imagine building a family on that foundation. Women aren't scared of babies. They're scared of unstable partnerships because when relationships feel fragile, children feel permanent, and permanence requires trust. Many women don't trust that the man beside them today will be the same man standing strong 10 years from now when things get hard. And without trust, motherhood feels like a gamble with no refund. So they pause. 5. The romantic fantasy collapsed. Many women grew up believing in a simple idea: a loving partner, shared responsibility, emotional teamwork. Then reality showed them something else: unequal labor, emotional neglect, resentment, and burnout. So they hesitate, not because they hate love, but because they saw what happens when love isn't supported by effort. They don't want to become bitter. They don't want to resent their own children. They don't want to feel trapped. So they step back. 6. Social judgment hits women harder. Women are judged no matter what they choose. Have kids too early, you're irresponsible. Have kids too late, you're selfish. Don't have kids, you're broken. Have kids and complain, you're ungrateful. For many women, it feels like there's no winning. So they choose the option that gives them the most control: delay. And delay slowly becomes avoidance. 7. Emotional labor exhaustion. Women already carry a huge amount of emotional labor. In relationships, in families, at work, they manage feelings, smooth conflicts, remember details, and hold everything together. Now, imagine adding children on top of that. For decades, many women aren't scared of diapers. They're scared of being emotionally drained for the rest of their lives. And because emotional labor is rarely taught, shared, or acknowledged, women look ahead and see burnout. 8. The fear of regret works both ways. Here's the paradox. Women fear regretting having children, but they also fear not having them. That tension creates paralysis, and paralysis looks like avoidance. So instead of deciding, many women don't. Not because they're careless, but because the stakes feel enormous. This fear is not the enemy. It's feedback. It's telling us something in the structure is broken. Support systems are weak. Partnerships are fragile. Fatherhood is undervalued beyond provision. Motherhood is treated like self-erasure. If society wants women to feel safe choosing motherhood, then motherhood must feel safe, not isolating, not punishing, not exhausting, not lonely. Women don't need convincing. They need conditions worth choosing. And until those conditions exist, hesitation will continue. If you're a woman feeling conflicted, you're not broken. You're aware. And if you're a man listening to this, understand this: presence matters. Emotional involvement matters. Partnership matters. Because children don't just need providers, they need parents. And families don't need pressure. They need support. That's the truth. And now you understand why the thought of having children unsettles so many modern women. Not because they hate life, but because they respect it enough not to rush into something that deserves stability. If this made you uncomfortable, good. Growth usually does.